What is going on, film fans? How's it going, everybody? Got a couple people watching already. Back again with another video coming from the usual skeptics. What do we talk about here? We talk movies, streaming. This week, CinemaCon. We're on day 4, the last day of CinemaCon, and I can't do it alone. Wes, as always, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing very well, buddy. Excited about today. Last day, so we'll see what Lionsgate and Paramount have in store for us. So, let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Yeah. So, like I said, it is the last day of CinemaCon here. So it'd be really neat, to see how all this stuff's going to go. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep my eyes on everything here. Make sure everything's good. Is everything good? I'm seeing something acting up. Is everything? Can y'all see us in the chat? I know there's kind of a delay, but is everything good on your end, Wes? Because
Yeah, I
it's
mean
kind of
it's
acting up a
fun.
little wonky on my end.
Well, you're always acting wonky.
Is it always a little wonky? I think it's good. Anyhow, sorry about that. I was just making sure everything was good. I had YouTube kind of wonky on me. Anyhow, it is good to be here again, Wes. We've had a great week in CinemaCon. Just to kind of recap a little bit, Monday we had Sony, Tuesday Warner Brothers, Wednesday had the Disney, and what was the other one? Universal, the Universal panel.
Hmm.
Some great panels, not so great panels. I think Wes and I can agree both that the Disney panel wasn't all that great. But hearing a lot of good things coming out of the Paramount and Lionsgate presentation. So,
Oh my
um,
God,
yeah, I'm all over the place. Just
you are all
that's
over
what
the
you get for
place.
going live. That's what you get for going live. By the way, we are streaming from both Twitch and YouTube. If you are watching this content, if you haven't already, do hit the like button, hit subscribe wherever you're watching it from. Greatly appreciate it from each and every one of you. So let's go ahead and dive right in here, Wes. So the plan was to originally start with Paramount, but it looks like Lionsgate didn't have a big panel. So let's just talk about Lionsgate right quick. We'll kind of go over that and then we'll jump straight into Paramount as we go. So uh, this comes to us from the hashtag show. Not a lot of places covering this. I don't know if it was just due to the presentation because it was mostly taken up by they put out Joyride, the new comedy out, which Wes and I just watched the trailer for. We haven't talked about it yet, and we'll get to that here in a bit. So we'll go with this here. Welcome to CinemaCon 2023, the convention you never heard of until now, which is true for most average people. That you won't get to watch anything shown off at it. Today we've got Lionsgate. They've already had hits like John Wick Chapter 4 and Sisu this year, but they'll likely show off their John Wick spinoffs and other films. And unfortunately, they didn't show much of anything, but we'll go ahead and keep this one here. So one of the things they did drop, Wes, was this interesting poster. Everyone hungers for something. The new Hunger Birds movie. So we did get a
Hunger
trailer.
Birds? It's Hunger Games.
Did I say
The
Hunger
hell is
Birds?
Hunger
Hunger
Birds?
Games. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the franchise. I like the first couple
Oh my
movies. Yeah,
God.
I like the first couple ones.
You can't
But
even
yeah,
say the name right.
I can't even say
You
the
ain't a
name right. I
fan.
don't even know what we're watching. What is this? That ain't Mario. What is this? Wes, you and I just watched the trailer just before we went live. What did you think about the trailer, man?
Skeptical. Um, Skeptical, because to me, it's like, okay, well, this is, obviously a prequel to the Hunger Games series, but if they're just going to be showing us the same stuff, except they're not as technical, like as technology sufficient as they are in the other Hunger Games, then I mean, it's one of those. It's just like they're just doing another remake, and I don't care to watch it. But Peter Dinklage is in it, so I mean, I'm gonna watch it, obviously. But at the same time, it's like I feel like it's gonna be like, okay, well, they just don't have the technology that they had in the other Hunger Games, so why are we watching this? You know what I mean? And that's just me.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt watching it, because I was a huge fan of the other movies and all that. And it just seems like they just don't have the huge technology. It's back in, well, it seems like the 1920s, 30s or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna watch it. That's how I feel. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just,
yeah, no,
that's my initial feeling on it.
hey,
So
nothing wrong with that. Now, look, watching this trailer, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I had just said, I wasn't a big fan of the franchise at first. Now, the first couple films I enjoyed. I didn't like how they kind of capped everything off. Just didn't really feel like. I mean, it was like, yeah. Didn't really feel like how they ended the characters made much sense to me. Now, this is coming from someone who also have not read the books. To me, that doesn't matter anyway. This is a film adaptation. They're adapting it for a reason. It's a different medium, so you want to change it to tell the best story you can, as far as in this case, movies. So, talking about this trailer for Hunger Birds of Snakes and Ladders, I think is the title. Got Wes swearing me here. So, Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm going to tell you what, Wes, I might surprise you here. I dug this trailer. I thought this was one of the best trailers. Now, I do have a couple, like Wes said, skeptical thoughts on it, but I'm gonna call it. I'm not gonna say it's the best trailer. I still think that candle goes to The Flash, especially that new trailer they dropped. But this trailer, Wes, I gotta tell you, I think this is one of my favorite trailers to come out of CinemaCon this week. I'm sorry. Look, I'm a huge fan of Peter Dinklage. Okay, he drinks and he knows things. Um, sorry, Wes doesn't get that. You didn't watch Game of Thrones, did you? Oh my gosh, I was hoping you get that one. Anyway, Peter Dinklage, I didn't even know he was going to be in it, but seeing him pop up, I'm like, oh, I'm in. Just right, I'm in. But I'm watching the trailer. I'm really digging what's going on. I don't know if I'm just in a good mood or what, but I had such a blast watching this trailer. And hey, maybe I might be in the minority. I honestly do not know the audience reception of this. I don't know. It looks like you're shaking your head. You're like, yeah. Now, outside of you, Wes, I don't know if you're watching this live. Do drop in the comments. What did you think about the trailer? Let us know, because I generally don't know without looking. Literally, we just got done watching the trailer. We just got home from work, trying to get everything set up. Wes had to drive home from his job, so we were kind of getting everything together right quick. I didn't have a chance to look at anything, so I don't know how this is hitting the general audience. I honestly don't know. So, but for me, I really, really dug it, but I don't know. Wes said that was kind of my thoughts on that. So, but yeah, let us know in the comments. Drop in the chat here. What did you think about the trailer? So, Wes, it does go on to say, outside of the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Snakes and Ladders, Lionsgate did not bring any footage for the rest of their 2023 slate. They're devoting a majority of the time given their panel for a screening of their upcoming film, Joyride, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. So there won't be any new footage for Saw 10, I'm assuming, Expendables 4, or any of the other films coming in 2023, which is odd because that's exactly what CinemaCon is for, Wes, is to show what's coming out for the rest of the year. So that's kind of,
I think that was a bad decision, but that's just me.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a questionable decision. I don't, maybe they had a reason, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little like, but now, while normally that'd be the end of this part because there's really nothing else to talk about, well, there is. So if we jump over to Collider, this comes to us from Ryan O'Rourke over there at Collider. So Expendables 4, Saw 10 to be first logos at CinemaCon. Now there's a couple things to talk about here, which we'll get. Now this was published, I think, yesterday, but because they did drop a couple, new title shots and stuff like that. So right here, CinemaCon 2023 continues. Fans and media members are getting a glimpse of their future in the film industry. On Wednesday, Lionsgate was unable to unveil official logos for the 4 of its most anticipated films, including Saw X, Expendables 4, Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and Ordinary Angels. Although the event wasn't open to the public, Collider's own Stephen Weintraub, who I love, I think he's one of the best in the business right now, managed to snap pictures for all to see. Right here, Saw X sports a logo that evokes the classic grimy, scratched out title seen in each installment. The horror sequel wrapped filming back in February, as confirmed by director Kevin Gutert. I'm probably butchering that, Grutert, who returns to helm the film after previously stepping behind the camera for Saw 9 and Saw 3D. No, 4. Is that 4? I don't know my Roman numerals.
Oh
Sue
my
me.
God, that's 6.
Is it 6? Well, I don't know. 4 is the other way, I guess. I don't know. A follow-up to 2021 Spiral from the Book of Saw. I really like that one, by the way. I like the Book of Saw. I thought that was kind of fun. With was that the one with Chris Rock? And is that what that one was? I thought that was kind of fun. The installment will take viewers back to the earliest installments of the franchise, taking place between the first two Saw films. Interesting. Further details about the plot are being kept under wraps, but it'll see a number of fresh faces thrown into Jigsaw's games, including some names there that I don't recognize at all. Speaking of Jigsaw, the mastermind John Kramer, who I love Tobin Bell, by the way, in this franchise. I really, really dig the Saw franchise. Like, it's a lot of fun. Shawnee Smith, who also returns as Amanda Young. That's pretty interesting. Bringing the survivor turned serial killer back into the mix. The film is due out in theaters around Halloween on October 27th. So, Wes, there's your shot there of a Saw X. What do you think about the franchise? What do you think about this new film? How do you think it's going to, match up to the installment for the franchise? What are your thoughts?
So I really enjoy the Saw franchises. Their Saw franchise. But I mean, my favorite of all of them is the number one because nobody saw the end coming. You know what I mean? And I don't want to. I mean, it's been forever since that came out. So if you hadn't seen it, spoiler alert. Nobody like seen the end of it coming, and it was just and the ways that the other films. It's so cool to find other ways to like have these traps and these
Right.
things that people have to get out of. I really enjoyed it. So hearing Saw 10 coming out, I hope that it's a good addition
I
to
hope
it.
so.
I don't feel the same way as I did about Fast 10. So that's a plus. Um, yes, Fast 10 is you know, anyway, just like the Expendables need to be expended and never watched again. Um, for me, talking about Saw, I hope that it's a good addition to it. I think that they've been good films. There's been some that are kind of, it's okay, whatever. But also, the reason I like the Saw films is because of all the great FX makeups and all this other stuff that's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Yeah, and like I said, it'd be really interesting to see. So I've already said I love this franchise. I think it's a lot of fun. Give me more Saw films. I mean, are there a few ridiculous ones like narrative wise? But
yeah,
come
of
on,
course. That's what I'm
let's
saying.
right. Let's be honest though. Some of the kills, some of the traps are a lot of fun just to
Yeah,
watch. I always think of myself like it's kind of like a mental game, and maybe other people do this. I don't know, but watching these movies, like I contend the first one is one of the best horror films ever made. I
correct.
like it might be
Correct.
personal. I might have mentioned it here on a stream a couple days ago that Saw 1 is probably my favorite horror film. I think it is. And
Well,
Hereditary right up
we're
there.
gonna have to.
We're gonna have to talk about that. But no, honestly though, like really think about it. Saw 1 had this gripping narrative that you really didn't know what was coming. There was a lot of twists and turns and made on a bus fare amount of change. I mean, that movie made a lot of money at the time and it continued to make money as the franchise went along. And I watched every film in theaters. I think except the last one, Spiral. But I liked all of them. I love the first couple a lot.
Hmm.
I love 3. I love 2. I thought 2 was fun. 3 I thought was better than 2. I mean, it's all subjective. If you hated them, I mean, I can see why. But it is a lot of fun. These are a lot of fun, and I kind of put myself in those mental games of like, okay, I'm in this trap. How am I going to get out? Type of thing, because it makes you think. And it's a lot of fun. So, Wes, you and I
So
both are kind of eager to see this. So
yeah, for
it'll be really
sure. And
interesting.
the Geek Ledger said, I
Oh,
remember watching Saw for the first time when I was 10 years old. I was immediately hooked. Exactly. Yes.
absolutely,
And then he says
absolutely.
exactly the first time, the time and effort that went into the trap. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah,
It's stuff. It's just new ways of like how to trap somebody and kill somebody and
yeah.
like have them think about
They were
what they've done
clever.
in their life. Like
Yeah.
what they've done to wrong somebody in their life.
It's a
It's great.
moral.
For
It
me,
it brings like
so
because
good.
I like stories like that have these crazy premises, but it begs you to ask yourself certain questions. And we've probably talked about this long enough, but I don't care. Saul, I think is fun. I think this is going to be.
It deserves it, man.
It does
It's a
deserve it. It
it's a
does.
because
It, it's
it's
not
gonna
talked about
come out
enough,
to be a classic horror series
right?
is what it's gonna be. It's gonna be up there with like your
I think it's already
Halloweens.
coined that though.
No, no, by far, but it's up
Hmm.
there with like your Halloweens, your Jasons, your Nightmare on Elm Street, like those classic series that people are like, oh, I remember that character. Everybody knows
Right.
who Jigsaw is. Everybody knows who
Everybody.
Jigsaw is.
You,
So,
you like you see the
and
puppet, you don't know its name, but everyone knows what it is, right? It's kind of like
yeah,
showing somebody a symbol of Superman. Everyone's going to know the logo. It's kind of the same thing
right.
with Jigsaw. So, Geek Ledger, appreciate that in the comment, by the way.
And the Geek Ledger also added, he was like, Jigsaw was really, really good. The ending twist was great. And that's what we were talking about. Just the ending
I thought they
is
were a lot
good.
of fun. Now that you're talking about the film that was titled Jigsaw, I think that's the one Geek Ledger's talking about.
Yeah,
Is that the
yeah,
one?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I liked it. I didn't love it as much as I want to, but I can see why you would. I mean, it did have some a couple like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But you know, these films deserve to be fun. It's not Shakespeare. It's not Oscar worthy. They're just a lot of fun, and that's all we need, right? And there's nothing wrong. Like, because if they're making money, keep making them. You know,
Yeah, dude.
you don't have to go, oh, we have to make the next best picture nomination. It's like, no, just make it fun, right? Just make it fun. So I think Saw franchise is a pretty, and again, Geek Ledger, we really do appreciate the comment. And so let's move on to Expendables 4. So the first one was on the other day, and it's such a fun movie. The first one, and the next two are just full of just, and I love the Chuck Norris line. Which one is that? 2 or 3?
I
Where
don't
Chuck
care.
Norris pops up. It's fun. He's like, Stallone's like, I heard you got talking to Chuck Norris. He's only in there for a brief moment. He's like, heard you got bit by a cobra. He's like, yeah, and the cobra died. A week later, it's like, what? It was so
I'll be honest.
stupid.
I like the first one. I
I
can't
like the
stand the
first
rest
one.
of them.
I
I
like
can't
the
stand
first
the
one.
rest of them. I can't do it.
Oh,
And they're making a fourth one.
I'm not going to spend a Sunday watching the trilogy, but I mean, if it's on TV and I'm waiting on my boiling macaroni, I'm probably gonna pop it on. I don't know. That's just me. So we'll go on into this. So the official logo for Expendables 4, meanwhile, highlights the star-studded cast of the action heroes to die for. Their arrival at CinemaCon marks the second straight year they've been promoted as part of Lionsgate's slate film. After the film received its first trailer at last year's event, which I thought was, fine trailer, not the best, not the worst. It's been a long journey for Barney Ross, Sly, and company to reach the big screen once more following the commercial failure of Expendables 3. It did not make anything. No one went and seen it.
Exactly,
All
because it shouldn't
hopes,
have.
all hopes seem lost as the characters would see light of day again now following some delays. The film, I wonder why. The film is on track to release September 22, with Stallone returning for his last round of the character, joining who we all love around here, Dolph Lundgren, Jason Statham, Randy Couture, along with other several
KOTOR.
Kotor, sorry, along with several other prominent faces, including Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Tanya Ja, Iko Uwais. I think Iko Uwais, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Iko Uwais was in The Raid. If any of y'all seen that or get that, let me know. Megan Fox, Andy Garcia, Eddie Hall, Sheila Shaw. Excuse me if I'm butchering that. Jacob Scipio and Levy Tran. Plot details are being kept rather thin here as well, though Scott Raff's crack at the franchise will see the mercenaries sucked into a conspiracy that could lead to nuclear war between the U.S. and Russia. Does not sound like a Expendables film without some tension between the U.S. and Russia. Like the fan favorite installments before it, Expendables 4 will go back to an R rating, let it Ross and pals let loose. And I think, yeah, didn't one of them go back to PG-13? Like it was R
Yeah,
and then went to PG-13,
yeah.
and I guess now they're going back R. So that'd be interesting here. So
The Geek Ledger said, I heard Jensen Ackles is supposed to be in the movie as the son of Chuck Norris's character. That's a great shout out to both of them playing Walker,
that
Texas Ranger. But it wasn't actually Jensen Ackles, I don't think. I think
mm,
it was the other one. It was
who was the other one? I can't think of his name. I
shoot.
know it's leaving me.
Who's the other one?
Look that
And
up right quick, and
I am.
I'll reveal the
He's
logo
in
here. Geek Ledger follows it up with, when did Megan Fox become an action star? I'm not complaining, but that was a weird pivot.
Facts. Facts,
Hey,
bro.
look,
Facts.
coming from a heterosexual male, okay, who did not love Megan Fox in
Yeah.
Transformers? Just saying.
Jared Padalecki.
Jared
Pad-
Padalecki, yes.
Yeah, that would yeah.
Got a chance to meet both of them, by the way. Very cool guys. Awesome.
But yeah, I think
Megan Fox, action star, A-list. Put her in the cover. Here is the, I guess, official cast announcement. I don't know, but it's got Suicide Squad vibes, like the original Suicide
Bro,
Squad
really bad.
2016.
Yep.
I mean, expend
Which was
forbles.
also a horrible film. So,
Look at this title though, expend forbles. I love it. Expend forbles.
oh God.
And we'll get to Hunger Games. Well, we didn't talk about Snakes and
We already
Ladders,
talked about
so
her.
so we're good there. So yeah, not really a lot to go on after the end of that, but that was pretty much the end of the Lionsgate panel. Do what?
He said sorry, Jared. Yeah, it's
Oh,
fine. Yeah,
Jared. Oh,
we're
okay,
good.
okay.
We got you. We
Gotcha.
got you, homie.
I'm getting my chat a little bit later than Wes is, so if you want to drop a comment, definitely shoot it to him because he'll see before I do. So we'll go ahead and move on here too. I think we covered everything Lionsgate. If we're forgetting anything, by the way, let us know in the comments if we're forgetting anything from Lionsgate. But I'm pretty sure that was pretty much it. Oh no, Wes, there's one big thing. They dropped the screening for Joyride, and you and I just watched the trailer because we were like, "What movie is this?" and went and watched it. We haven't talked about it yet. I laughed a
I
couple
haven't
times.
seen it yet.
Oh, you didn't watch it at all yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, I thought. Look, I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So you talk about it.
So I
I'll
talk
see
about
it.
it. Look, Joyride. Do I think it's going to be the greatest comedy ever? No, but it looks like a lot of fun. It's one of those red band trailers where it's just like kind of all out and it looks bonkers, and that's all I want. Give me that kind of first Hangover type movie where it's hilarious but it's completely nutty at the same time. Something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But reviews are coming out for it. I guess quick reactions. The social embargo, I guess, has released, but people are loving it. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, as far as I know. So, Wes, what do you think about this film? I know you didn't really watch the trailer, but what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. But I mean, from what you're saying, it looks. Yeah, I
Looks like
mean,
a
it
lot of
sounds
fun.
pretty good.
I mean,
It
I
sounds
don't.
pretty good.
To be
So
honest, I don't know any of the cast. I mean, there's a couple faces I recognize, but just take a look over here. It's rocking 100% with
nice.
13 reviews. Now that number will go down. Make no mistake, that number will go down. But it is interesting that people are loving it. And that gives me more hope. And that was before, when I watched the trailer, it was before those reactions start coming out. So it'd be interesting to see where this one goes. If you've seen the trailer for Joyride, do let us know in the comments what you think. And by the way, if you're liking this content, we got several people watching. Again, we're streaming from both YouTube and Twitch. I want to try and remind myself to do these reminders. If you're liking the content, please drop a like and subscribe. Totally free. Y'all know what to do. Whether you're following us on Twitch or YouTube, primarily YouTube, but we stream to Twitch as well because we have future plans for that we're not going to talk about quite yet. But either way, let's dive right into. And again, if we're forgetting anything from Lionsgate, please let us know in the comments. But that was pretty much it. The Lionsgate. They didn't really talk about anything. So let's go ahead and go into my stuff right
So
here.
the Geek Ledger, two things. The
Yeah.
Geek Ledger says, or as he is known in the D&D community, J.A. Rod. Nice. And then he
J.A. Rod.
also said, like Game Night, that was such a fun, raunchy comedy, but it
Oh my
was
God.
absolutely nuts.
Geek Ledger,
It was
I'm
great.
so glad you brought up Game Night. Game
He
Night
loves
was
it.
one of those movies where it's not that I hated on it, like while it was in its marketing campaign. I just didn't get a chance to go watch it because I'm like, yeah, I like Jason Bateman, I like Rachel McAdams, but I'm like, I'm good. Like it doesn't like I didn't like the trailers, so I'm like, I'm gonna pass. Right, I'll wait for it to come out in VOD. I bought it. Well, no, I rented it. I think it was like $5 at the time. I ended up going back and buying it. So instead of renting $5 every time I wanted to see it, I just went up and freaking bought the full thing for $20 because this movie's fantastic. And if you have not seen Game Night, do yourself a favor. Tomorrow's Friday night. It'll be a perfect Friday night movie. Go watch Game Night. It is hilarious. You think you've got it figured out, but you don't. The way it ends, it's just so funny and bonkers, and I love it. So, Geek Ledger, thank you for popping that in there. Love that. So, we're going to kind of bounce around between two different articles here because both kind of reveal a couple different things. So, we'll just kind of talk about it as we go here. Yes, sorry.
So, got a couple more things in the chat.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
first off, 80s Kid from last night. Thank you for rewatching. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
I'm planning to rewatch Transformers '86 repeatedly, then rewatch Bumblebee before I watch the sequel in the theaters. And we're gonna get to that. Trust me, definitely gonna get to that. And then the Geek Ledger says, excuse me, Rachel's delivery of "Oh no,
Yeah,
he died" was pure gold.
that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. Man, you're making me want to go back and watch this, man. Like I love Game Night. I've seen it probably 7 times. Like I'm not playing. I've seen it like 6 or 7 times. I love Game Night. I think it's literally one of the most hilarious movies like in the last 20 years. Like it's hilarious. Um, so yeah, we'll jump into here. And by the way, if y'all have any comments or questions about CinemaCon or about Wes and myself or whatever, I know we'll try to keep the CinemaCon best we can if you can help it. But if a question's just burning on your brain, do drop in the comments and let us know because we do appreciate y'all watching this live. It's awesome. So again, like Wes said, 80s Kid, thank you for popping back in. That's awesome. And Geek Ledger, thank you for finding us and appreciate that. So we'll jump right in here to Paramount Pictures presentation. This comes to us from nextbestpicture.com. We'll go through this a little bit here. I don't know if this is written out as its release, right? So we'll just have to see. Wes, I might have to fix your camera there. Paramount Pictures
Why?
domestic
What
distribution.
happened?
Oh, it looked like it was like a lot of negative space up top. I just didn't know if I needed to fix
Oh
that.
my
I don't
god.
know.
No,
Okay.
just leave it alone.
Domestic distribution chief Chris Aronson kicked off the studio's CinemaCon 2023 presentation in style, rising from the sewer with a pizza in hand while the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themed dance crew hyped him up. Aronson and company were there to reinforce the commitment to theatrical experience. Wes, we're a broken record at this point. We've talked about all week how that is what you need to do as a studio. Disney, Paramount, Sony, Universal, Lionsgate,
Hmm.
everybody stick to theatrical. It works. Top Gun Maverick made 1.87 whatever $billion. Spider-Man No Way Home made like $1.9 billion. Literally a Spider-Man film, almost a $2 billion movie. So that being said. So in fact, Aronson used some of his time to roast AMC theaters, quoting Nicole Kidman's AMC stupid ad, by the way. Opener in a place like this, like when you're in the center section and you're paid more for your seats than those people in the balcony. That's my complaint, right? Is when you go, like, we have a Regal close to Wes and myself. We don't have an AMC here. And we go to the Regal and they're like, come watch Regal. And it's like, we're already at a fucking Regal. Like,
Right.
don't market to me, you shitheads. I already paid $70 for my family to watch a movie. Don't tell me. Tell the people else. Anyway, that's so stupid. Anyway, with his jokes out of the way, the Paramount team showcases a wide variety of films from 2023 and beyond. The theater owners in the crowd to be excited about. Theatrical remains the cornerstone of our business. Paramount president Brian Robbins said, and that's what we're committing to today. They celebrated the massive success of last year's Top Gun Maverick, which made tons of money, noting that it's Paramount highest grossing movie ever. Yes, it was. And it's funny how they're making all these comments, Wes, because those of you who forgot, during COVID, Paramount pushed Tom Cruise to nearly dump this onto streaming. And Tom Cruise went up there and gave him the middle finger. And it's like, no, you're not. No, this is going to the theater. And now look,
and it should have, dude.
It should have.
Top Gun Maverick was
Top
amazing.
Gun Maverick is awesome.
So good. Because
yeah.
the thing is, like, you have to see that film. Like, I luckily caught it before it left theaters because I was so busy and stuff like that. But I luckily caught it while it was in theaters.
Oh, thank God! You had me worried there because you have to see that in the theater.
Yeah, dude. I was like, this is so good.
That's
so
one
good.
of those movies, like when it hopefully it re-releases in theaters in like 5 years or something. When it re-releases, you go watch it. You drive 2-3 hours if you have to go see it. Like you need that sound. You need that movie quality sound and picture. And you're 75-inch at home. You're 85-inch at home with your Bose system, which is what I have, and your new TV, which is what I have.
Nice flex, you dick.
Nice flex. That ain't nothing compared to an actual movie screen. So definitely watch Top Gun Maverick in the theater. But yeah, totally true. 80s Kid drops in the chat here. Interesting choice for picking Hemsworth as Prime. I like it. We will talk about that here in a moment, but I will say right quick, remember it is animated. It is animated, so it's not like you're gonna be seeing Chris Hemsworth. So I have my thoughts on that, and we'll talk about that here in a bit. But yeah, I mean Chris Hemsworth, I like his voice. He's the excuse me, God of Thunder. I mean, look, I look just like him, so is what it is. No, okay.
Just keep reading, you
Just
dick.
keep reading. All right, Smile got which Smile was kind of fun. Quite the shout out as the team highlighted that it was initially made for streaming before it bumped into theaters. Oh, I wonder why. Oh, let's put this in the theaters. Let's see what happens. Oh, it made money. Oh. But like this conversation's over, right? It bugs me so much. Why are we still having this conversation? Like, get out of here. Theatrical is the way to go. Like, I'm tired of talking about it. The team promised more hits for theater owners in 2023. Then why didn't you announce them? No, sorry, that was Lionsgate. Sorry. We're on a different studio. The new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was the first for Paramount, with writer and producer Seth Rogen taking this, who we love around here, takes the stage after lots of mocking at Aaronson's expense. It seems unfair to ask studio executives to fill a stage designed for the most charismatic people on the planet. They built this for Adele. Rogen raved about his experience making the animated film. He highlights that the turtles are played by actual teenagers, giving the movie a more authentic feel, or as authentic as you can with mutants. Rogen described growing up with these characters and feeling connected to them. I love these characters. They were weird, noble, brave, smart, just how I saw myself, except for the noble, brave, and smart parts. He introduced an extended trailer showing how the turtles want to find acceptance, saving New York City so that other people might not find them scary or weird. The stylized look works very well and could be a big hit for the studio starting August 4th. And we'll get in Transformers here in a beat. So, Wes, before we get into that, you want to get into Geek Ledger's comment there? You want to read that real quick?
Yeah. So Geek Ledger says people credit Top Gun Maverick for bringing back theaters when Spider-Man: No Way Home came out 6 months earlier and made almost $2 billion. Maverick was huge, but let's not forget the Trailblazer. That's facts.
You're not wrong.
That's facts.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Now the problem is Top Gun had a better chance to be dumped on streaming. If it did go straight to streaming, I think the theaters would have been in a worse shape than they are today. Because No Way Home, which you're right, No Way Home was the first like almost multi-billion-dollar movie since Endgame. So I mean it is what it is, but you're right. I mean that's I think that's pretty accurate, because without No Way Home, Top Gun Mavericks wouldn't have had as big as a box office as it did, right? But having those two films almost back to back, only 6 months apart, well, it's fair to say that No Way Home's success benefited, or Top Gun Mavericks success benefited from No Way Home success, is I guess what I'm saying. So 80s Kid, and then we'll jump right into here to the TMNT.
80s Kid says, I love the original TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trilogy, and 87 cartoon. I can't wait to see this. Yeah. I mean,
speaking of all this, yeah, I mean,
bro,
like I said, speaking of all this, what do you think? What do you think about the news about the new animated movie?
I'm excited about it. I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, because I had the bus whenever I was a kid. I had the little toys and all that stuff. I think I actually still have some of those, but um, they were my favorites whenever I was growing up. So I'm excited to see it, and I hope that he does it justice. Now, we all know Seth Rogen as being, the dirty comic, blah blah blah. But like from what I hear, this is going to be something that he said that this is going to be something you can bring your kids to, which is awesome. Because like I said, I got a kid and I want to be able to bring him and show it to him, and us both have a great time with it. Just like we did with the Mario Brothers that just came out. So
Right.
I'm super super stoked about this one, as well as the rest that came out today. So.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not the biggest Ninja Turtle fan outside of the original black and white adult oriented Ninja Turtles. That is what TMNT should be. And I contend would make more money and be more successful. They've done these live action. Now, I know this one's going to be an animated film. I get that. But they've taken a couple cracks at live action. I'm telling you, man, if they would stick to that original, I think people are over. Just look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. I think based off the, cowabunga, I think people are over it. I think people are over it. But that's just me. And obviously, 80s Kid thinks different. But that's just
You're
me.
garbage.
But,
You're a garbage
but look,
human being.
Look, you and I both went on here the other day and talked about how much we love Seth Rogen. So if anyone's to get me to watch this, it's him. Nothing else about this excites me. I'm probably not going to watch this. But because Seth Rogen is part of it, and I've loved what he's been doing as of late with producing, such as Invincible, The Boys, stuff like that. Preacher, I liked Preacher on AMC. I thought that was a lot of fun. I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out. Let's see what happens. So let us know what you think about the new TMNT Mutant Mayhem. So let us know your thoughts on that, and let us know what you think. So we'll dive right into here to, I guess, what everyone's most excited to talk about, and that is Transformers: The Rise of the Beast. Director Stephen Cable Jr. Stars Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback hit the stage to promote the newest entry for the Transformers franchise, Rise of the Beast. Cable noted their reliance on shooting in real locations rather than in studios or green screen sets costs a lot more money, but is what is. The new I guess it depends. The new trailer highlights that as well. While of chock full of CGI thanks to the Transformers, the locations do feel very real, stark contrast to the other major franchises. Ramos and Fishback celebrated the 90s setting, saying that the film is full of fashion and music of the era, which Wes, you and I are probably pretty excited. Continuing the Transformers love, President of Paramount and of Animation, Ramsey Nido, announced Transformers 1, and this is the new one, and then we'll go back and talk about Rise of the Beast, an animated film with what 80s Kid was just talking about. Chris Hemsworth voicing Optimus Prime, Brian Tyree Henry, who we love, voicing Megatron, that's interesting, and many more. Nido also announced a new SpongeBob movie, SpongeBob's Search for SquarePants, featuring the Flying Dutchman. Oh, okay, I'm in. Additionally, Nido mentioned the untitled theatrical animation film for the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe. The only image shown showcases the older Aang, who has entered adulthood. Finally, we saw a rough cut of the trailer for Paw Patrol. All right, we'll whatever. Wes, do you think about? I could just hear Jordan, Wes, my daughter saying, "Oh my God, let's go watch Paw Patrol." Wes, what do you think about Transformers: Rise of the Beast? You and I both watched the trailer before we went live. We didn't talk about it. We did confirm that we each seen it. What did you think?
Dope. Just like the last one. Dude, that last trailer was still dope. This one's even more dope. I liked it. I'm excited, dude. Just because, the only skepticism, and I told you this before we got on, the only skepticism I have of it is like, this is based in 1994, before all the other ones, almost. Why do these bots look way better than any of the other ones? You know what I'm saying? It's just because of the way the CGI is, come and all that good stuff. So, but super, super dope. Like, super excited about it. I grew up in the 90s, so like I love all the music. I love all the stuff that has to do with the 90s. Like, I'm a huge 90s fan. Rap, music, like all of it. Like, just want it all. So give it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. You know how earlier I talked about the Hunger Games trailer? I thought was one of the best.
Bro, I was like, how are you saying that this is one of the best? This is
okay, and that's fine. But that's just my subjective thought. That is one of my. This new Transformers: Rise of the Beast trailer. I loved the first Transformer movie with Shia LaBeouf. I really enjoyed that first one. 2 on to The Last Night or whatever that was called, The Last Jedi, whatever it was called. I completely, utterly hated it. I didn't like any single one of them. It just like a big CGI gobbledygook. Like just horrible storytelling, horrible script, just showed, and I love Michael Bay. I love Armageddon. I love Bad Boys. Like, I love Michael Bay, but come on, man. You got to stop. Anyhow, coming to this film, and I love Bumblebee. I did really, really, really love Bumblebee. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of heart. Very good movie. This trailer, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, the new trailer that was released, I think it was released earlier today, is my favorite outside of The Flash. My favorite trailer I've seen this year. I this is the type of stuff that I like, and to have as many Transformers movies as we had or have had since when the first one came out, 2007. Having that many films come out since then, having Bumblebee, having, Transformers 1 is going to come out soon and all that stuff, having this trailer come out. I like the first trailer, but this second one, dude, literally my favorite trailer. This has me wanting to go open at night. Like, it feels like a lot of fun. The trailer was well executed. I loved every single thing about this trailer. And I'm not the biggest like Transformers lore type of guy. Like, I know the characters, but I'm not the person to go to if you have Transformers questions. That's not me. I know who's an Autobot. I know who's a Decepticon. I know the kind of gist of what the story is, but I don't know like in-depth lore like I do other comic books, like, Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, stuff like that. So, Wes, this excites. What do you think about? Because you sound more of the Transformers nut. What do you think about how this film speaks to people that are actually fans? Do you think that there's a lot here in the lore that would entice people to come and maybe kind of give them even Bumblebee was kind of that second chance, but do you think that this is kind of another second chance, if that makes sense?
I think this is a way for them to redeem themselves for the
Bumblebee
CGI,
was a hit.
For the CGI shit that they had before Bumblebee.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But thing is, man, like, dude, just like you said, the whole trailer was it's so good.
Because Bumblebee
whenever he
put
was
them
like,
on the
you
right
brought
track.
a human? He was like, you brought a human? He was like, I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing right now. It was great, bro. I was like, yes.
And you gotta have that. Awesome. You gotta have that comedy. And Bumblebee was that second chance.
Did you see in the trailer whenever they threw something on that guy and he started like transforming himself? Dude, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so awesome.
And when I was a kid,
show you everything.
Oh, sorry.
They didn't show you everything. They didn't show him completely transforming into anything. But like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. So we got a couple of couple of things from 80s kids. So he says Unicron. Yes, of course, of course. And then also he said, could someone like Weezer or Imagine Dragons do the 86 theme song for Rise of the Beast? Yes, and yes. Dude, either one. But Weezer would be dope because Weezer was more back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I would definitely like say yes for that. Also puts, I loved SpongeBob on the Run, or I loved Sponge on the Run. Also, I'm excited for more SpongeBob movies.
Hey, it's all subjective,
Stephen Caple Jr. Stated it's a reboot.
So it is a reboot. Because weren't we talking about last night? Didn't I ask, or one of us asked, is Bumblebee, is this 86? Is it a sequel to Bumblebee? But it doesn't look like it is. So now I didn't personally see that, but if he said that it's but if he did say that it's a sequel or a reboot, then I mean, I'll take your word for it until I hear different. But
got some more.
Oh, okay, go for it.
So the Geek Ledger says, I really hope that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie pulls from the 90s movies and the 90s live action TV show. That was just a great portrayal. Yeah, I agree with that.
And I like the 90s movies. I really did, but I'm not like, oh, gung ho, it's this time of year, I have to watch TMNT. Like, I didn't love them,
Yeah, weird garbage. So it says also, how dope would it be if they made a sequel to those movies based on the Last Ronin comic? Yes.
Listen, Eastman and Laird's run. That's what I'm talking about. Do Eastman and Laird's run on Ninja Turtles, and I'm there opening day. like do that kind of, because like Ralph, um, why am I drawing on his name? What's his name? With the red bandana?
Huh?
What's his name with the red bandana? The red one?
Oh, and Teenage Mutant Raphael?
Raphael. He, I think there's a famous comic strip of him, or a comic panel, and he's got these guys and he's like talking about how killing them, and then he like cleans his blades and stuff like that. Like it's, I don't remember it like verbatim and all that kind of stuff, but I do remember something like that. And like that's just so cool. And I think that
So
would be a new take for the film. So, but that's just me.
for sure. So what I've heard also, Geek Ledger, you can I think you can look this up. I think it may not be a movie, but I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that somebody in the gaming community, like one of the creators or whatever, is making a Ronin uh Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game where you are the last remaining Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and you're avenging your brother's deaths and everything. So I can't wait for it to come out, because I'm gonna play that, because and they said it was like from the creators of like Red Dead Redemption or something like that. So it's gonna have the raw like blood and gore and stuff in games and stuff. So I
Now,
know we don't talk about all that, but
yeah,
like
no,
I've
that's
heard it
fine. Yeah.
on like, because I play Call of Duty and all that good stuff. So but that was one of the things that I seen on a TikTok, was that they were coming out with um
And
a Ronin style
well, to
game.
say on that, Kick Ledger, I personally haven't read The Last Ronin, but it made me, you know, think of the Eastman and Laird's version, just a different version from the hey cowabunga, I like pizza. Like, to me, you've done it, now do away with it. Like, try something else, right? That's kind of what I would do. If I was executive over there, I would announce new films, but with a new take. It doesn't have to be rated R. I'm not saying do like blood, guts, and boobs and f bombs, and like I'm not saying do all that. But if you're gonna do a new Ninja Turtles, do it maybe a hard PG-13, but make it have kind of a little bit of humor, Deadpool, but like the grit of like Spider, or the grit of like something like I don't know, like a Blade, or something like that. Kind of
Sin
that
City.
real Sin City. There you go. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Deadpool meets Sin City. What else we got there, Wes?
Okay, so 80s Kid said yes, he stated it's a sequel to
He did.
Bumblebee. And
Okay.
then the Geek Ledger says, okay, Bumblebee was the reboot, and the new Transformers movie is a sequel to Bumblebee.
Okay. So I didn't see all that, and I do apologize. But no,
And
that's
then
awesome.
80s Kid said, yep. And then we got another one, but go ahead.
Uh, he's interested to. I mean, sorry, 80s kid says I'm interested to see Tiger Claw. Is that the only Tiger Claw I know is from um no, he says Tiger Paw in the new guy with DJ Qualls. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Let me know. Judge Dredd or something. Yeah, I could see that. Judge Dredd. Oh, I love Judge Dredd. Pretty awesome. But yeah, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What do y'all think about this news? Are any of y'all excited? If you're watching this live, do drop in the comments or in the chat what you think. Are you excited for this film? Do you think they should, do away with the current kind of what they're doing with TMNT, the Ninja Turtles? Do you think that they should do away with the cowabunga, I like pizza, yippity doo dah? Or, should there be a more, what I think they should do is more grittier take? Let us know in the comments, and we'll go ahead and move on from there. So
Hey,
now,
while
oh,
we're moving
yes.
on, before we move on, can I take a quick little break and you can talk to the chat for just a second?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Yeah, Wes has to do a couple things right quick at about 11 o'clock our time. So he's going to do that, but I'm going to stay in here for a moment and chat with y'all. So we're going to kind of treat this as sort of a intermission. So if y'all have any questions at all, do let me know. Tiger Claw is a TMNT villain, and know that the chat is on a bit of a delay, so I might not see it right away. Um, Tiger Claw is a TMNT villain. I think I know who you're talking about now. I think I do. Um, Tiger Claw. Ooh, that sounds fun. I mean, I'd be down. It just depends how they're written, you know? He's a bounty hunter who serves the Shredder. Now, Shredder's the main one, right? He's the main bad guy. I thought he looked like a Swiss Army knife in the last live action movie they did. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, why does he look like a Swiss Army knife? But I mean, it's whatever. It is what it is. Is what it is. Yeah, if y'all have any more questions, not just about CinemaCon, but anything, we'll treat it like a little Q&A. Just let me know. Geek Ledger says, I think do both. Have the animated versions keep that childhood, early teenager PG vibe, and have the live action do hard PG-13, maybe rated R if it's done well. And see, that's the key, right? If it's done well, right? So you can tell anything from anything from Jaws to Star Wars to Toy Story, three completely different movies, right? But they're all stories told well. Okay. And one of them's a family movie, one of them's more directed to kids, one's a little more toward um older teenagers to adults. So I mean it just depends how the story is told. You like the 2012 TMNT cartoon, it's a bit edgy. I don't know. I'm not big on animation, to be honest with you. It's just not my bag. Now when I was a kid, up until I was hitting up through high school, like, I still have my favorite animations, or animation shows, like, I'm a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I watched the original Pokemon growing up, Digimon. I was real big on, SpongeBob and, Doug and Angry Beavers, Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Laboratory, stuff like that, that, like, there was stuff that I loved, right? But, like, now I'm just like, it depends if I'm interested in it. Like, it has to look good. And to me, the last anime show that or not anime, but animation show that I really liked, it's probably Invincible on I about said The Boys on Amazon, which has The Boys on it as well. So that's Gargoyles. Oh my god. Oh, 80s spitting facts. Yes, Gargoyles was freaking dope. I love Gargoyles. Where is a Gargoyles movie? Like, I'm this close to buying that gargoyle, Goliath figure at Walmart or Target, whichever it's at, and just put it in the background here. I think that'd be so dope. And obviously, I think I showed this in a previous stream. My daughters made these for me, but it's my original VHS for, you got Jason David Frank there on the front, right here, who I got to meet and interview and was fortunate enough to interview him and get a picture with, and he's a rest in peace. So this will be in for one of my most treasured items right here, the original Green Ranger VHS for any Power Ranger fans out there. Got a couple down here that I really like too, that were all from my childhood. But yeah, Gargoyles, oh, freaking awesome. Like, literally, why has that not been made a movie with, the kind of sci-fi adventure type movies that we're having nowadays? You would think that would be something, but you know, Keith Ledger says a dark and gritty, nostalgic TMNT movie. Take my money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, give me that original Eastman and Laird, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle run. I'm in. Like, if you told me that was going to be a movie, like an adaptation of Eastman and Laird's version and their take, the original take on TMNT, right? And it's kind of like when Batman came out, right? Like the first couple Batman comics was him literally killing people, right? So, or causing them death, right? So then they come out with the Adam West version. It kind of made it more for kids, right? And then in the 80s, it kind of went to more of the darker side of Batman, the original tale of Batman. So that's what I think would do better. Like, look, you've done a couple movies. I think they've done what, three live action since the 90s versions. Um, so several live action attempts, but I think it's time now. I think everyone can agree that, I think it's time to tell a different take. Now, again, I'm not saying R. I don't think it needs to be R rated. Definitely a hard PG-13. get some of that grit of what the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can do. We've seen it work with Deadpool. We've seen it work with Logan. Again, I'm not saying it has to be R. Like we don't have to see blood, guts, and you know, boobies, and f bombs here or there and the other, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it would be interesting to look. We've seen a couple. Let's get a new take. So that's just kind of how my thoughts on it. 80s Kid says, "Did you watch Once and Always?" I don't think I have. You refresh my memory on that. Is that a show, movie? Do let me know. I that's going over top of my head right now. Geek Ledger says Jordan Peele was supposed to make live action Gargoyles movie for Disney Plus, but that fell through. Okay, so now that you said that, I think that was news, wasn't it? That they were trying to get some off the ground. But no, keep that crap off Disney Plus. Put it as a movie. Like seriously. Don't I feel like Hawkeye. Don't give me hope. Like give me a live action PG-13, have a little humor but more have that kind of MCU humor, if that makes sense, and make it a little bit edgier, like have that feel of like a Captain America Winter Soldier. Maybe not a political espionage, something like that, but have that kind of tone, right? Oh, once and all Power Rangers once and always. So no, I didn't, but it is on my list. I do need to watch it. I think it's on Netflix. Correct me if I'm wrong, but no, I've met several of the original Power Rangers. I think I met all of them except Austin St. John. I think he's the only Power Ranger of the originals. I know he wasn't like the well, was he? Was he the original? I know there was him and there was Steven. Was it Steven? Oh gosh, who was the other Red Ranger? Oh my god, I can't think. He was in the Power Rangers movie. I can't think of his name, but Austin St. John is, I think, the only one that I have not met. Um, Ace Kid says it's 2012 cartoon. It was revealed that Shredder kidnapped Splinter's daughter and raised her as his daughter. Also, he killed Splinter's wife. Ooh, that's interesting. Is that the one you're? Okay, that's interesting. I like. I kind of I dig that. Um, Yeah, the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger reunion special. Yeah, so that one I would, like I said, I would love to take a shot um at seeing that because I mean, is it worth it? Like if I'm a fan of the original Power Rangers, like am I going to enjoy it? That's my only thing, right? So that's just okay. So you're saying yeah. So I'm going to take your word for it. I'm probably going to catch on it this weekend. Is it a movie? It's a movie, right? Once and always? I think it's a movie. But yeah, I definitely would love to see that. Jonathan Frakes also pitched a live action Gargoyles movie to Disney back in 2010s. He voiced David Xanatos on Gargoyles. You may know him from Star Trek Next Gen, where he played Riker. So, oh my gosh, I have to look him up. Now, I watched the first couple seasons of Star Trek Next Gen because that was one of the hottest things on when I was a kid. 55 minutes. Okay, so it is a movie. But thank you for that, Keith Ledger, by the way. Um, but no, I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, let's get a let's like come on. Really? Especially where the MCU has taken not only technology, but that type of like people expect the general audience expects to see that type of, suspension of disbelief. Throw some gargoyles in there. Like there has to be a story to be told and a movie to make money. Like like for real. It'd be awesome. Um, yeah, Ace Kid says 55 minutes for the Power Ranger, Power Ranger movie. The first officer with the beard. Oh, okay. I think I know who you're talking about. I think I know who you're talking about. Ace Kid says, "Do you watch Star Trek Strange New Worlds?" Okay, so I'm gonna admit something here, and y'all are probably gonna hate me. I am not the biggest Trek fan. Now, before everyone flips out, give me a chance here. I've watched several of the movies. I think the first two movies, and I watched the first season or two of Next Gen. I haven't seen literally anything else. I think. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so I watched the Chris Pine first Star Trek movie. I was in the army at the time when that movie came out. I didn't know. I caught it late, I literally was late to the movie. I didn't know what was going on. I kind of mentally tapped out and never got around to it. And they ended up rebooting the franchise, and then I guess a Quentin Tarantino film, Star Trek film was being developed or something. Maybe it's still happening, I don't know. But there was a lot of stuff with that where I was like, "Huh, this sounds interesting," and, that woulda got me more on board, to be honest with you, a Quentin Tarantino, um, Star Trek film, but yeah, that's just me. I'm sorry, I probably upset um everyone watching here, but honestly, that's just me. So again, just right quick, if you're watching this from YouTube or Twitch, we are streaming from both. Oh, gotcha. Wes is showing me Riker there in yep, there he is. Okay, so he's showing me the camera there. But yeah, if you are watching this, do us a favor. If you're liking the content, please drop a like, subscribe. Do check us out, and this is has been fun. It's been a fun week. We're still gonna talk a little bit more about the Paramount panel. Wes is back. Let him get ready right quick, and then we'll get into the rest of the bit here. So we'll go ahead and follow up with a couple more of your questions here. But yeah, Star Trek wasn't the biggest on. But that's just me. I'm the wrong person to ask about Star Wars, but that's just me. Ace Kid says, I'm only a fan of the original
Star Wars
series.
or Star Trek?
Star Wars. I'm only a fan of the original series besides Strange New Worlds. I hear that quite often. People say that, so you're not the only one. Excuse me. The Geek Ledger says Star Trek theatrical movies are dead. Well, I haven't made a lot of money, so yeah, they've announced that all the movies and shows moving forward would be Paramount. Ugh. See that's another reason. Like if you have a like if you're Law and Order, like my wife loves Law and Order, and I occasionally watch it with her. I've watched several of the Law and Order series, like Criminal Intent, SVU, probably my favorite SVU, the Special Victims Unit, Organized Crime. Like we watched several of them, and like something like a Law and Order, that makes sense to keep that IP as shows. Like I get that, but to have something like you're not even trying anymore with Star Trek, it feels like, because you're not making no money that way. You're not making any money putting only Star Trek on Paramount Plus. Like you're not making anything. So to me, that's a head scratcher, and that's unfortunate, Geek Ledger. That really is. That see something like that, a comment like that does not give me hope for that franchise. But that's just me. Ace Kid says I'm more the original trilogy person. You talking about Star Wars? I'm assuming you're talking Star Wars. Um, oh, okay, yeah, you followed up with the comment Star Wars. Yeah, I have went back and forth on this for a while. Wes is back, but he's still getting ready here. I have kind of went back and forth on this about Star Wars. Um, but Star Wars is one of those where the trilogy I always treat as kind of one long movie, if that makes sense. I kind of think of the way of the Lord of the Rings, but I contend the Lord of the Rings trilogy is better than the Star Wars trilogy. That's not to say that I don't think, Wes, that Star Wars hasn't made an impact as it has had since 1977, but I think the Lord of the Rings films are better movies. I think, but that's just my own subjective opinion. So, there's that. So, the Geek Ledger says Star Trek started as a TV show, which yes, it did. It was never really that successful as movies. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, and that probably justifies it. I get that. But at the same time, you need to compete at this point. This is the streaming wars. This is the time where, and this will segue back into CinemaCon West, is this is the perfect time to get that IP and go, here's what it is. So there is an argument to be made where you go, all right, Star Trek needs to live on interesting point we have. Well, yeah. I mean it and I there is an argument to be made that Star Trek belongs on Paramount Plus exclusively. I get that. But why can't you have both and? That's what I'm getting at. Is why have either or? Do both and. Throw your movies that you think are good, throw them out you know, and I'm not saying they have to drop 14 Star Trek movies a year, but drop one or two and go, hey, connect it like they're doing the MCU. The MCU's doing it. They got their crappy Disney Plus shows, but they're also putting out movies too. It's a both and.
Marvels.
I think Marvel's gonna be good. So
No,
I mean,
Miss Marvels.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, whatever the fuck.
Wes, we were talking about a couple things here. We were talking about
just. I was watching.
Oh, were you? Okay, so.
Well, I showed you Riker because you didn't know who Riker was.
I did, and I was like, I think I know who you're talking about, and that was the one that popped in my head. Gargoyles movie would be great. Wes, what, just right before we segue back into CinemaCon, what do you think about a Gargoyles film? And why do you think one hasn't been made yet?
Because they're stupid.
What?
No. I think that they're stupid for not making one.
Oh, I thought you were like, Gargoyles stupid. I'm like, what?
No. Gargoyles is great. That was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, dude.
Like, I was telling him I'm this close to buying that good giant, you know what I'm talking about, that giant Goliath figure from Walmart and just throwing it up in the background.
Dude, it's so good. They need to make one. And there was, I know, I've seen some of his comments about, Jordan Peele, saying that he, like, and that was, like, that's what I heard, was that they were going to make a Gargoyles movie. And I was like, yes, please, like, do it. Needs to happen. I just think they're stupid for not making it. Because, I mean, you're talking to people who, like, I grew up in the 90s and watching these things, that Darkwing Duck, like, these great, Saturday morning cartoons that you would sit there and watch, and it's like, okay, as an adult, I want to see that in a live action. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. I just think they're stupid for not making one. I'd be stoked if they made one.
And I agree, because it is, again, it goes back to, you have content that there's never, to my knowledge, there's never been a live action Gargoyles film. So to me, why not? But that's just me. Wes, you want to check up, go on Geek Ledger and read those?
Yeah. So Gargoyles movie would be great. They've stated they want to make a sequel to the Chris Pine movies, but the actors are all too expensive at this point. Yeah, that's facts. So the only option would be to get an all new cast, which no one would. Yeah, you're facts, dude. No one would watch it. Then laughing emojis from 80s Kid. Unless they made a sequel to the Chris Pine movies that was a reboot of the next generation, that might work from a budget standpoint. Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but like, still, it's not going to make enough money for them to profit off of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I want the NECA Goliath figure.
It's that NECA figure. I think that's the one.
I don't know what it is. That's all you.
I think that's I think that's the figure that I was talking about. I think that's the one that I'm thinking about getting.
Yeah. Did someone say Darkwing Duck? Yeah, bro. The tear that flaps in the night. By God, yeah, they did. It's one of my favorite cartoons, man.
All right, you've heard it here, folks. Darkwing Duck, R-rated. Throw it on Disney Plus. R-rated. Let's go.
That and the one-wheeled robot thing. Yeah,
might as well. You got the R-rated section on Disney Plus. Throw an R-rated Darkwing Duck. Like, I'm so down for that. Let's do it. Let's get that Darkwing Duck. All right, so let's go ahead and finish on here.
Or DuckTales? Oh my God, if they did DuckTales.
Bruh,
holy
DuckTales.
shit.
Oh, I'd be so in.
Oh.
So they talked about SpongeBob. I'm not gonna lie to you, we're not talking about SpongeBob. I'm telling you that right now. We're not talking about SpongeBob. However, the Flying Dutchman is in it, and I like the Flying Dutchman in the show. I think Flying Dutchman's freaking awesome. Avatar. Nothing much to talk about Avatar, but Wes, real quick, are you a fan of the Avatar show, the original show?
To be honest with you, no, I've not really watched it, so that's just me. And like, I know it's a big thing and everything like that. I never really watched it. I never got it. Was past my time.
Was it?
You know what I mean?
I think you would like it though, because it still maintains that great story. We were talking about it earlier. It has great storytelling across the whole show. I watched it while I was in school and while I was a little bit younger, and it went through its run. By the time we got to the end, had a crazy finale. it ended so good. There was a couple moments through the show where you're like, how are they airing this on TV? There's a guy singing about the death of his son. Like, I'm not gonna tell you names because you haven't seen it, but there's one in particular, probably the saddest moment of the show, where the dad is singing about his son going off to war and dying, knowing he's not coming back, and you're just like freaking crying because you're like, what? And I'm like a senior in high school at the time, and I'm like, what is going on? So
Yeah, it was past my prime.
yeah, was it?
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's fine.
I'm an old man.
Well, if any of y'all are Avatar fans, let us know in the comments. But it does say here that the only image showcases an older Aang, who that's the main character. He's the Airbender, who has entered adulthood. Finally, we saw a rough cutted trailer for Paw Patrol. Oh my God, yeah, we're not talking about Patrol.
Why? Come on, man. My
It's
son's gonna want to see that
it's
off rip,
it's the
and you
mighty
know Jordan is too.
it's the
You're,
mighty movie. Before we move forward here, Geek Ledger says the new Star Trek shows are a huge draw to Paramount Plus. I mean, yeah, that's literally their only thing. Paramount and Yellowstone, but they need see the thing is they need to do something other than Yellowstone. They need to do something other than Star Trek. They need to get away from old, just like Disney Plus. They need to deal away with MCU and Star Wars. They're not pumping out enough to keep it going. You're going to have more than two IPs to
they should have
keep
just
people
kept with
returning.
They should have just kept with Yellowstone. Yellowstone was amazing.
Yellowstone is
Um,
amazing, but yeah,
so he also says the Geek Ledger says the new Star Trek shows are a huge draw to Paramount Plus. So that
yes,
kind of justifies making movies the movies exclusive to the service.
right. But the movies, well, the point I was trying to make was the movies aren't making money like the shows I get. Like I said, that's why I was comparing to Law and Order, because Law and Order, that's been on show for decades. Okay, that makes sense. But Star Trek has seen movies. Just do both and is what I'm getting at. Like, keep doing your shows, but drop your movies in the theaters because you're not making any money just for parent. How do you think they make their money? How do you think these streaming services make their money? By your subscription. Well, if all they do is crank out $100 million movies that cost to make on Paramount Plus, the only thing that's paying for that is your subscription. That's not enough. You have to do both. That's what I'm saying. Why not do both and go, okay, well, if this Star Trek film is good, well, people are more likely going to tune into the Star Trek show. This is coming from someone who doesn't give a crap about Star Trek. I'm just saying, for an example, that's just how it should be done, just from a business point of view. Um, 80s Kid
80s
follows that up.
kid. Yeah, 80s kid says, "Meh, I like JC's Avatar though."
I mean, I like Avatar 1 very much. Wes, I still haven't watched Way of the Water. Um, haven't had a chance. I really want to. I'm so excited. You have not seen it. You have seen it. You don't like it.
I'm saying I don't like it.
You didn't like it. Oh, that sucks, man. What does Geek Ledger follow it up with?
It's 3.5 hours, bro. That could have been cut down to like. See,
Well,
okay, so here's here's my thing on these long ass movies that they have been making. Dude, bro, there's not a film in the past few years that have not been 2 hours or more. Really, like the majority have been 2 hours or more. Okay,
Wakanda Forever was 2 hours and 40 minutes.
yeah, great. Okay, but
John Wick 4, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Just saying.
yeah, but well worth it. Um, so my whole thing is with these long movies that they're making, like I remember watching as a kid, like as a young adult, going and watching these movies like an Independence Day, which was an hour and 40 minutes of brilliant movie making, and it left you wanting more. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like you had an hour and 40 minutes,
It's
and
just
it
like
was
still
pure,
going.
and it was
Yeah.
great. It was
Yeah.
an hour and 40 minutes, and it was great, and you were just like,
Oh, how
oh
tight the
man, I
runtime.
want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a great movie, and then it's just like these movies are trying to pack so much into one, and I get you have to, and I understand that. Like I'm not taking away from anything from like Infinity War or these long epics that need to be that long. I'm just saying there doesn't need to be so much shit. Do you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
feel that.
and that's just me. I just feel like I want movie to be great like it was back then, an hour and 40 minutes, boom, 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 you're out.
Right.
But that is just me. Some people love those long movies. I get it. It's just for me, like a 3.5 hour movie, I'm sitting there like this. How many times can I see a
We're getting
whale?
old, man.
A big ass blue whale. So
What's
sorry for my rant. That's just what I feel.
no, you're good. What's Geek Ledger's?
It's my channel. It's our channel. I do what I want. So the Geek Ledger says, like the final season of Star Wars or Star Trek, Star Trek Picard, just finished airing, and it was the most watched Star Trek season since 2005. Okay, I haven't seen it. My wife really wants to watch it. I haven't seen it yet though. So 80s Kid follows up. I will watch Ahsoka and Andor season 2.
Above that.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Geek Ledger. Though the recent movies they announced are all spin-offs and they're TV shows, so you could just say they're TV movies to fill the void while they wait for theatrical Star Trek to make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's what I was saying though. Like, have your TV shows, but make your movies. You can have both and just don't put it all on Paramount Plus. That's all I'm saying. Sorry.
Yeah. Says so. 80s Kid says I will watch Ahsoka and Andor season 2. Maybe Tales of the Jedi season 2. After that, no more Star Wars until movie comes out in theaters.
That's true. Maybe they're ramping up Mando season 4 right now. So season 4 will probably come out before the next Star Wars movie, maybe, because it was announced a bit ago that they are doing a live action movie tying in Ahsoka, Mando, and some others for a theatrical release. So we'll just have to see how that goes.
The Geek Ledger. Sorry, there's deers in my backyard. If you hear that little bell, like that's deers in my backyard. So.
Oh wow.
I've got a little sensor thing that tells me that. So laugh out loud. Like Snyder's Justice League did not need to be 5 hours. There was so much filler. Love the movie, but too long. Correct. Way too long.
But it was by design though.
Who gives a shit about a design, Gabe?
I get that it was too long.
5 hours.
That. No, but it was thrown on HBO Max. That's different. It was specifically. Do you really think theaters would take a 5-hour movie? Fuck no. Theaters would not take a 5-hour movie. So it makes sense. That is a no-brainer. That obviously you want to drop on your streaming service because you want to say.
But it still didn't need to be 5 hours long. I agree with it didn't need to be that long.
I agree with you. I'm just saying an additional point was ain't no way that would have ended up in theaters anyway. Is all I'm saying. But I'm like you. No film needs to be more than 3 hours, though. Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Jesus Christ.
What does the 80s kid say?
These damn deers, man. It's like I hear it in the background.
You should have said my kids are in the background and they're running around outside.
Here's my headcanon. Prequels, Clone Wars, Andor, Rogue One, original trilogy, Tales of the Jedi, and what will be Ahsoka to end it.
That's very possible. There, she kind of pops up, and she definitely has ties to Clone Wars, the prequels, obviously, with the Episode 2 era. I don't know how much now. I didn't watch Rebels, so I can't definitively say what she has or does not have canon to. All I can speak for what I've seen, and we'll get to questions here in a bit. Let's go ahead and finish up this Paramount presentation, and we'll jump in comments for a bit and see what y'all want to say. So let's go ahead and jump on in here. I jacked this up. Give me one moment. There we go. Okay, so continuing Transformers. Okay, so Killers of the Flower Moon. Here we go. Perhaps the most anticipated piece of Paramount's presentation came from the master director Martin Scorsese himself taking the stage. made in collaboration with Apple TV. Apple TV's taken this movie stuff very seriously, by the way. $1 billion a year just for films, fantastic. They're taking this serious. Scorsese introduced the first ever trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon, which is not released publicly yet, as far as I know. It might tomorrow. Excuse me. The explosive trailer featured stunning imagery and production design on a massive scale. This is a picture designed to be seen on the big screen, Scorsese said. This is a big screen movie, and that's what you'll see. As if we needed any more confirmation, this trailer wowed the crowd here at CinemaCon and is sure to be a major awards contender this fall. Wes, you told me earlier we were talking about it, and you were like, I think it's going to be a awards contender. And you're not wrong. Dude, it's Scorsese. It's Leonardo DiCaprio. We're hearing great things.
And De Niro, too. But it's
De
the
Niro's
first time.
In it, yes. Yes.
But De Niro, and this is the first time that De Niro and DiCaprio have been in a movie together. So I think it's going to be just, I can't wait for this film. I think it's going to be awesome.
I think it's going to be great. Definitely one of the best of the year. I hope. Now let us see. We reserve the right to change our opinion after we see it, but right now, I think it's going to be great. I do have to say this though. Geek Ledger says in the comments, LOL, Martin Scorsese would probably try to get theaters to play a 5-hour movie of his.
Bro, by far, this film will probably be 5 hours.
Let's be honest, yeah. And that $1 billion I just mentioned, Apple's putting their money to, about $750 million has went to Scorsese.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so another award season hopeful was showcased by Bob Marley. One Love, the legendary musician song Ziggy Marley, came out on stage to praise the team telling his father's story. My family and I are honored to be alongside Paramount in this cast and crew. The first trailer shown at star Kingsley Benadir as a titular singer, looking incredible in the main role. It's a dramatic trailer. Most biopics have, but it has good energy and lots of love. Things are lining up well for Benadir's awards hopes. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I normally I would throw it to you first, but I just have to say, I don't mind biopics. I'm just getting sick and tired of musicianal biopics because they're all the same. I loved Walk the Line. I didn't love, but I really liked the Freddie Mercury one, Bohemian Rhapsody. I loved Elvis last year. I thought it was a little too long, but fantastic.
Bro, what about Motley Crue? Come on, man.
Well, that was
a good one too.
It was fine, but it wasn't Oscar worthy. I mean, who knows? Maybe
gives a shit if it was Oscar worthy. It was fun.
Oh well, I mean, it was all right. I liked it, but I'm just saying I'm not putting the same. Anyway, I like most biopics, but come on, can we give it a rest? They're all the same. Musician's talented. Musician turns to bad habits. Musician overcomes those habits. Musician redeems themselves. Oh, end credits.
Something. Bob Marley didn't end his habit, homie. That motherfucker was a lot.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
I mean,
I'm just saying. Listen to me. You've got somebody who was in Hamilton that was a great singer. I'm actually super stoked about this. I know that Gabe is not, but I don't mind the whole music. Like I told y'all yesterday that I'm a huge musical fan. Like I love music. I love that whole thing. I've been in show choir for a long time, dude. Like I really enjoy it. But you know, for me, it's just I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it.
I mean, we'll just have to see where it goes. Wes, I think we're losing you a little bit there, but I think everything kind of ironed itself out. But no, like I'm probably gonna watch it because I'm a fan of Bob Marley, so it'd be interesting to see how this one plays out. But if any of y'all are interested, do drop in the comments and let us know what you think about the new biopic. All right, so we'll drop down to filmmaker John Krasinski came out on stage to tease 2 upcoming projects for 2024. First, A Quiet Place Day 1 with director Michael Sarnowski from Pig. Pig was wild. Taking the next step in the franchise started by Krasinski, the frightening trailer focused on Lupita Nyong'o, who I love. Oh my God, one of the most beautiful women on earth. Character trying to survive the creature's first land on Earth. It looks big, bold, and another great event. A great entry in the story. Next up is Krasinski's next directorial feature, If. Krasinski says he made this for his family and his kids, much in the mold of E.T. and Willy Wonka. Big shoes to fill, I know, he jokes, but an extended, rough cut of the behind-the-scenes featurette. We hear star Ryan Reynolds. I love a John Krasinski Ryan Reynolds team up. That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, dude, sounds
Or
great.
collaboration. Described the film as a live-action Pixar film. Steve Carell, Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and more will also voice imaginary friends who come to life. This sounds wonky. This sounds crazy, but I'm excited. Wes, we hear about 2 Krasinski projects coming up. Number 1, what do you think about A Quiet Place Day One? And what do you think about his next directorial feature, If? What's your thoughts?
Excited about both.
Same.
Really excited about both. I love A Quiet Place. Those films are. It's just so good, so good. How it like just the. I mean, he's a great filmmaker. I mean, who would have thought Jim from The Office? You know what I mean? Hmm. Would become like
Yeah.
he. I love it. I think he's. I think that both these films sound really good. First, A Quiet Place. That's more of your thriller. I wouldn't say horror. It's more of a thriller movie. Um, and I'm anxious to see, like, because you see A Quiet Place and it takes place after they've already been there for a long time, and it takes place where they've already come up with, okay, well, you have to be quiet around these creatures and stuff. So whenever whenever they first land, they don't know that. So how is this going to play into them? uh, I'm excited about it, put it that way. The If, how can you go wrong with you know Jim and Michael being back together again? You know what I mean? Because I think that Steve Carell is taking over like the main part and everything. I think that it's gonna be awesome. And like you said, how can you also go wrong with Ryan Reynolds? I think it's gonna be just so good. I mean, Ryan Reynolds can do no wrong right now. So
Man, I think you're right. I mean, look, I loved A Quiet Place. I think my favorite directorial debut in the last several years, probably, and I'm biased. Well, there's no biasism there. It's just, I was very much looking forward to A Star Is Born. Bradley Cooper, his directorial debut with that, and that quickly jumped to one of my highest, me personally, one. It's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. A Star Is Born, the Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga. I love that movie so much. I love it. Now, I think that there's a couple like minor direct, like if I was to nitpick A Star Is Born, couple things. A Quiet Place, John Krasinski's A Quiet Place, the part 1 or the first one, I literally have no complaints with, from the tone, from the pacing, the cadence, the sound
mhm,
design, or the lack thereof,
mhm,
the actors, the way they communicated without look, if you as a director can communicate emotion without using words, that's something. That is something. So to have John Krasinski come in here and go, step aside, uh, talented directors, or what, however, I'm being facetious, but him coming in there and just wrecking shop and showing his director's chops shows what he can do as a filmmaker and as a creative. That just speaks so, like, he is going to be a very good director moving forward. Like after this, like I think he's better now. If I hope the only thing is, I hope it's not too fantastical, right? Because you want to keep that fantastical within the mundane. So I hope it, because the If sounds kind of bonkers, but it does sound something that's also up in his wheelhouse, like A Quiet Place. But there's
mhm,
so much, there's that suspension of disbelief where you're not catching yourself going, well, none of this makes sense, but it does. And you don't have to know all the answers, but the way he does the first movie is fantastic. And I thought the second one was almost just as good. I loved the
mhm,
second one. I thought it was great. So to have this one, A Quiet Place Day One, taking place literally in the moments with Lupita Nyong'o, come on, come on, you're telling me John Krasinski, Lupita Nyong'o, like, get out of here. Like, this film's going to be fantastic. It's got to be, Wes. It
mhm,
literally has to be. Now, as far as his next film, If, I like what he's kind of saying. Much of the E.T. Willy Wonka. He jokes about being big shoes to fill. Like he's modest. He understands. Look, that I'm not. He's like, look, I'm not saying it's going to be E.T. I'm not saying it's going to be Willy Wonka, but it
right.
is something that I'm going to kind of try here. And look, it's got his wife in it, Emily Blunt. So a person he's obviously comfortable with. He freaking goes home and is asleep with her, for God's sake. So surely he can help direct her.
That may be a bad thing, though.
That may be a bad thing. She probably runs the show, for sure. So, but Ryan Reynolds described as a live action Pixar film. So that's interesting. So, I mean, you got Matt Damon, Steve Carell in there, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who love all of these people involved. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. Now, I haven't heard a lot of it or a lot about it, but Wes, this sounds like a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see it. So if any of y'all are y'all fans of the Quiet Place franchise, let us know in the comments what you think about this news. Are you excited for A Quiet Place Day 1? Do you love Lupita Nyong'o? Because I do. And what do you think about his new movie, If? Let us know your thoughts. Drop them in the chat here and let us know what you think. We're going to run in all the questions. Just spam a whole bunch if you can. We're going to go through the questions toward the end of the stream, and then we'll go through all of them. We kind of spent way too long talking earlier, so we're just going to finish the presentation out. Then we're going to cut to for y'all. So if y'all have any questions, whether it's about CinemaCon, any of the panels this week, because this is the last day of the panel or the CinemaCon. So I will go ahead and drop this now. Go ahead and drop your thoughts there in the comments about not just today's presentations, but all week, and just let us know what you think. So moving along here, Wes. So one of the last ones here. So last but certainly not least, Paramount hopes to make Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, because I think they started with this. So I don't know why they're talking about it last, but I think they opened up CinemaCon or the Paramount, presentation with Mission Impossible. But here we got Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. I love the title. I think it's awesome. The highest grossing entry in the franchise yet. That's what they're hoping it to be. They showed a new trailer and a 20-minute action sequence from the movie. The sequence found Haley Atwell, who plays Agent Carter in the MCU, shows Haley Atwell's character in trouble running into Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt, where the two make their giant action. I mean, a couple of y'all heard about Tom Cruise, right? He's a small upcoming actor. Action-packed escape from Palm Clementoff's assassin. Palm Clementoff is, as you know, Mantis from the Guardians of the Galaxy, who we're about to see next month. As expected, the sequence is thrilling, funny, and completely visceral. Without a doubt, theaters are in store for a big hit with the film this summer. Can Paramount reignite theaters as they did with Top Gun Maverick last year? Wes, what do you think? Do you think that they have another Top Gun Maverick type blockbuster on their hands? What do you think about Mission Impossible franchise as a whole? What do you think about this new film? It's been a while since we've had it.
Me 5 damn questions.
No, I'm going to ask you.
Answer one.
I'm going to ask you every question, all the questions.
God dang. So, do I think that this is going to bring people back in the theaters? I don't think that this movie is going to be the one to do that. My thoughts on that are The Flash is going to be the one that brings people. I think The Flash is going to make the most out of all these movies that are coming up. Agreed. But the Mission Impossible as a whole, I love the franchise. But same old Mission Impossible is how I'm kind of perceiving it right now. I know that's bad because I know it's Tom Cruise. It is what it is, but I mean, Top Gun Maverick it's going to be hard to beat. I mean, it was so good. You know what I mean? So for me, am I going to go see this? Obviously. I'm obviously going to go see this movie. But I mean, it's just another Mission Impossible movie, to me. That's what I'm thinking right now. So,
yeah. And, I think I'm a bigger fan, I guess, of the Mission Impossible franchise than most. I love almost all of them. The second one, I admittedly I think more than most people. Yes, I understand it does have the problems most people complain about, and I see that. People say these problems, and I'm like, yeah, I agree to that. But Mission Impossible 2 is a lot of fun. Metallica is God's favorite band, my favorite band on earth, and having their song not play the end credits or anywhere throughout the movie until like the very, very, very end credits is beyond me. But other than that, I really love Mission Impossible 2. I think it's fantastic. I had fun with it. What can I say? I really like the franchise. The last film made, I think, over $1 billion. So, Wes, we had already talked in previous stream. We think that this next film could be one of the biggest of the year because of its previous box office. Like, it keeps going up and up and up and up. And the movies seem to get better and better and better and better. Now, I think, like other fans of the Mission Impossible franchise, is the last one with Fallout with Henry Cavill, our boy Superman. Um, he, that movie probably is the best um, Mission Impossible film out there. I think most people can agree to that. My personal favorite is still Mission Impossible 3, but that's just me. I'm a fan of this franchise. I can't wait to see what Christopher McQuarrie can do again with this. Obviously, it's going to be nutty. It's going to be crazy. But like you said, Wes, I can't help to think, as much as I'm excited for it, I can't help to think, what much more can you do with Mission Impossible? I mean, you keep doing these end of the world type. They were trying to end the world in Mission Impossible 2. So, but it really wasn't until I think the fourth or fifth film that kind of carried over into the next film, right? Like, it was like, okay, these events lead into the next movie. So that'd be interesting to see how it goes. What do y'all think about the Mission Impossible franchise? Let us know in the comments. We're going to spend a little bit here, just a few minutes, taking your comments and questions. If anyone's watching in the chat. By the way, if you've liked this content, if you've been watching, please drop a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We are streaming from Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. So if you are enjoying this content, do drop a like and subscribe and share amongst your friends. So I'm going to give a few minutes. Wes, while we're waiting on some comments to come through, I'm going to ask you just one big question. What do you think about CinemaCon as a whole? Do you think it was a great CinemaCon?
As a whole, there were some ups and downs for me. I think that as a whole, I'm excited for everything. I'm excited for 80% of it. How about I put it that way? 80% of the things that were shown, 80% of the things that were talked about, super stoked about. I'm super excited about being a moviegoer, and having all these things coming out to where we can go back to our lovely movie theaters and have a good time. I think that there was some letdowns. I think that Disney dropped the ball. We talked about it already, but I think that they dropped the ball this time, and I think that the two top performers for this CinemaCon are going to be Warner Brothers, and who was the other one from last night? Um, Warner Brothers and Sony. I think are going to be the two victors of this. But for me, like I said, 80% of it was good. So is it a good CinemaCon? Yes, I think it was a good CinemaCon. But what do you think about it, Gabe?
So, kind of my general thoughts on it is, I think you're on point there. Like, is it the best CinemaCon we've ever seen? I don't think so, but I thought it was good. I thought this was a worthy CinemaCon. I thought this was a fun CinemaCon. I thought this was a CinemaCon that we can all enjoy and come together and kind of celebrate the movies, right? Celebrate what it means to be a movie fan. I think 80s Kid mentioned that in last night's stream, was how great is it to be a movie fan? Like, this time out of any other. This way, I've said before, CinemaCon week is my favorite week of the year, because that's all we do all week is talk movies, and it's awesome. It's awesome to get together and talk about it. Another thing too is, we're celebrating the movies and amping up the movies that are coming out within the next year, right? So just to have a little more sense of that, had The Flash come out, had Joyride come out, hearing great buzz around both films, hearing a lot of good stuff. Can't wait to see both of them. I'm obviously more excited for The Flash, but it still will be interesting to see where they go with this. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I personally can't wait to see I would say most of the films that have been announced and have been talked about. Yeah, there's a couple where I'm like, like TMNT, Paw Patrol. What was that one we kind of were crapping on the other day? I forgot the movie, but there's some exciting ones, right? Like with Dumb Money and If, John Krasinski's If, and A Quiet Place, Day One, Transformers, Rise of the Beast. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff that I think is going to be freaking awesome. So Now I'm gonna throw it to y'all. What do y'all think about CinemaCon as a whole? What did you think about it from this week? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And Wes, let's go ahead and get on to here into some chat questions. I think it
Okay,
starts with
so
80s Kid up there.
yeah. So he said I forgot about Rebels. That was a blast.
Well, let's talk about Rebels for a second. Wes, you and I kind of disagree on this. You've seen Rebels, right? Like you liked Rebels, didn't you? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's sorry. My chat flipped out. I didn't love Rebels. Like I tried it, but it felt I felt I wasn't the demographic. Like while I was watching it, I felt like this isn't for me. Like it's Star Wars. Like I can attend to that. This is Star Wars, but I didn't feel it was like it didn't feel like A New Hope. It didn't feel like Empire. It didn't feel like Return. It felt like new Star Wars trying to hit a different demographic of the general audience. I don't know, Wes. What do you think about that?
I'm not going to get into it with you today.
Oh well, we have to discuss it. I mean, you love it, and I didn't. I just wanted to hear your kind of opinion on it.
I had a blast, but I thought it
Did
was
you?
awesome. Yeah,
Did
I
you?
liked it. I liked it. So that's another reason why I'm like excited about Ahsoka, because
I
like
mean, I wanted
she
to.
played a more pivotal role in Rebels. You know what I mean, and all that
I think
stuff.
what hurt it for me though was Clone Wars because I watched Clone Wars because I remember everyone was amping up about it. Dave Filoni, and on paper, think about it. On paper, the events of the Clone Wars, how it was like Star Wars Episode 2, Clone Wars, and then Episode 3 starts, and it's been like 3 years of the war. Okay, well, where this is literally Star Wars. Like, let us see some of that war, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we haven't really got that in Star Wars outside of a couple scenes or sequences or whatever. So it has the Clone Wars, the show had a interesting premise, right? Was like telling the events of between 2 and 3. Having the stupid Ahsoka character was just making me want to stab my ears with a toothpick. Listen to that character talk. No problem, no squabble with the actress, with the voice actress or anything like that. And but let me tell you, when she pops up in Mando, I was prepared. I was sitting there with my arms crossed. I was hating for it. You know, I was like, I'm watching stupid Ahsoka character. Man, when Rosario Dawson shows up, she starts wrecking shop. I'm like, all right, change my
Yeah.
tune a little bit. But anytime I think about that character from Clone Wars, I'm like, how's this character not dead? You know, like please just kill her off. Like it's so weird. So, but that's just me. Like I think where we're at with Ahsoka, I don't think they're gonna go back to animation. So I'm fine and I feel comfortable with Ahsoka and excited for the Ahsoka series. I really like the trailer, and I think there was a couple live action recreated shots from the trailer too. That was from the Rebel show. I think from the finale or something like that. Yeah, Rebels had the space whales and some weird stuff with Ezra and stuff like that. And it was just stuff that really didn't interest me. I just felt like I wasn't the target audience, even though I love Star Wars as much as I do. Just felt like it wasn't for me. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. So what's next there?
80s Kid says Krasinski is the best Reed Richards. I don't know if we can say that or not, just because he was in the movie for like 5 minutes. I think that me and Gabe have talked in past videos about how they gave us what the fans wanted, which was a Krasinski as Reed Richards, and it was like, okay, here it is. You know, it is what it is, and it was great. It was great in that moment. It was awesome, but
And
now
Kevin
it's like,
Feige admitted that. Kevin Feige was like, "Look, they've been asking for it." And Sam Raimi was like, "This is a perfect opportunity to do it." Kevin, can we do it? Yep. Okay, cool. Let's do it. You know.
and then now it's like, okay, I've seen him as that, but I want Krasinski to keep making films, and that's just my personal opinion. And not to say that he wouldn't be a great Reed Richards, because I think that he would. I think that he would, but they've already killed him off. I don't want him to bring him back, and you know what I mean. It just for me, it wouldn't work.
They could find a way to make it work, but I agree with you. Like if they announced tomorrow Krasinski as Reed Richards, I would be over the moon. I'd be super excited. But like you said, how many times do they have to say it? He
Right.
came in once. It was a one-time thing. They gave it to the fans. Let's move on. Let's be thankful for what we got and move
Yeah.
on, because the next actor they bring on, and I contend the actor's already been cast. Well, you and I talked about this before. What they're
Mhm.
doing, I think maybe not all of them, but I think 2 or 3 have already been cast. I think by this point, it's possible that all 4 have been cast. But I think what they're doing is waiting till Comic-Con this year, and they're gonna announce all 4 at the same time. They're not gonna announce just, uh, Johnny Storm right now.
Right.
Like, think about it. How silly would it be if they go, "Okay, here's your Johnny Storm," and then 2 months later, they're like, "Here's your Ben Grimm," and it's like, "What?" Just I think
Right.
what they're gonna do is go, "All right, Kevin Feige's gonna come out. I'm telling you right now. I told you this last year, Wes. They're gonna drop bombs on San Diego Comic-Con," and we got nothing.
Yeah.
But this year, Wes, this year,
Oh, yeah.
they're
Yeah.
dropping
What you're saying.
bombs.
Yeah, of course.
This
Yeah,
is
sure.
timestamp. This is live. I'm telling you right now, it's almost April 28th, and I'm telling you they're going to drop bombs, and they're going to announce if Deadline or one of the major trades doesn't get a hold of it before then, they will announce all 4 at the same time. I'm calling it right now. Wes, do you think it's already been cast, by the way? Do you think all
Oh,
4 have
yeah, by
already?
far. Yeah.
Because, I
Yeah.
mean, do you agree, though? Wouldn't it be a little silly if they just go, here's the one actor and the other actor? Like, just announce all 4
Dude,
at the
they
same
gotta be
time.
in, like, pre-production right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, getting ready for
Oh,
such
it's
a
in pre.
for
It's in
such a for
pre-pro.
such a huge film like that, you know what I mean? So, I'm sure they've already casted it, just everybody's tight-lipped, which is what should happen anyway. Uh,
Exactly. Exactly.
so going on, we'll go past that. So I don't wanna mess his name up. So Matthew P, said Dune 2. So, yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Super stoked about that. Super, super stoked about that.
I'm super stoked for Dune 2. Like, a lot of people are coming out of it. Well, not a lot of people, but I heard several people come out and go, "This to me is better than Star Wars." And hey, that's great. If you think that's better than Star Wars, got no problem with me. I think Dune was fantastic. It's all subjective. Whatever you thought, that's your thought, and don't let anyone take that from you. However, me personally, and West might feel different. I don't know, but I think Dune is fabulous. But I will admit and say that that film does not speak to the same. It. Wes, I'm gonna see if this makes sense. You just kind of hear me out here. The first Dune movie, that well, not the original Dune, but this one that we're talking about, Dune 1, the one that just came out. That script, it was smarter, and it required the audience to pay attention. Unlike Star Wars: A New Hope, things just happen. And take that with what you will. This has come from someone who grew up on Star Wars. Wes, you and I had a little emotional moment last year when we talked about Star Wars 45th anniversary. I kind of broke in the video because I was talking about how important it was to me as a kid and how it still affects me today. Like, I love Star Wars, especially the original trilogy. But that being said, I think and I've heard no one say this, so I might be, you know, getting ready for pitchforks and torches, but I think the reason this movie didn't work for as many people as it did, such as a Star Wars, was because it required the audience to not be smarter. I don't want to make it sound like that, but it required you to pay more attention. It required a certain level of hey, this is what's happening. It was more like a political thing. But it is what it is. Y'all interpret that as you will. But let us know in the comments, do you prefer Dune over Star Wars? I don't know. We'll have to see. Who's next?
So 80s Kid also said, I'm excited about Wicked and Ghostbusters 4 as well. Wish looks great. I wish it's going to be good.
Well, did we talk about
Yeah,
Wish last night?
we did. Yeah.
That was the one with Ariana Grande, right?
No, Wicked's the one with Ariana Grande.
Wicked. Okay.
Wish is the one that's the animated one that we didn't know a lot about.
Yes. So I still haven't. Now that trailer has been released. Yes, for Wish.
I don't know.
I think I don't know if it has. If y'all have seen, maybe it is had been released. All I'm saying is I don't know if it's released or not. If it is, I just haven't seen it yet. Let us know in the comments if you've seen Wish. I remember talking about it, but I don't think at the time there was a public trailer. I don't know.
There's a trailer. Yes,
There is. Okay.
15 hours ago. So.
Okay, so it was yesterday. All right. So I mean, yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Wes and I were still kind of unfamiliar about it, so there's not really. I'm not
We'll
gonna say
watch that. We'll watch the trailer, and then maybe in our next video,
yeah, we can
go
watch
over
it and then follow up on that. As far as Ghostbusters, look, I'm like anyone else. I'm a huge fan of Ghostbusters 1. Huge fan. Ghostbusters 2, lot of fun. But I mean, is it one of the best movies in the world? I mean, I don't know. No. Wes, what do you think about Ghostbusters?
I love Ghostbusters, the first ones.
The first one, yeah,
These
fantastic.
the new ones that just came out. I'm not.
With Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I don't really like them, to be honest. That's just me.
They're okay. Like I have fun with them. I watch them. I'm like, that was fun, right? Like you finish and you're like, that was a lot of fun. I don't know. If any of y'all are Ghostbusters fans, do drop in the comments. Now, my oldest child, who is 10, she loves Ghostbusters. Loves it. And
Well, it's because they have women as.
No, not that one. The original Ghostbusters. And hey, I'm telling you that the one with Melissa McCarthy, was it Melissa McCarthy?
Yeah.
And who's Kennan? What's her name? She's like my favorite. Well, was my favorite cast member on SNL before she left. Kate McKinnon. Wasn't that the one? Kate. She is freaking amazing. If y'all haven't seen Alien Abduction, the SNL sketches on that, dude, I haven't. I've crapped on SNL.
Dude, it's so fun.
I've crapped.
It's so
listen,
funny, bro.
I've crapped on SNL for years. I'm like, they're just not funny anymore. Those Alien Abductions with Kate McKinnon
and Ryan Gosling, where she makes him break, dude. Oh, dude, it's so good because he's like sitting there, and she's like sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Who else did she do? Was it Casey Affleck or one of them? And he breaks character. It's like those bits. I think there's only like 4 or 5 of them, but I haven't laughed harder watching that since like I don't in a long time. I mean, like years. Like I haven't laughed that hard in just that short 3 to 4 minutes. Like that whole segment, and she's just sitting there with her belly out. She's got her finger in her belly button, and she's just smoking it. She's like, well, I'm gonna squeeze my toot and pinch my coot, or like something like that. She's just babbling, but it's just so funny. If y'all haven't watched it, look up Alien Abduction. Kay McKinnon, you will be, you're gonna love me for that. All right, Wes, what is next?
After Secret Invasion and the Marvel's release, I'm done with Marvel for now. I think they need to reset with Secret Wars and get younger actors. What do you think?
Wes, do you want it or do you want me to take it first?
You take it first. You sound like you've got. You seem like you've got some shit to get off your chest.
All right, 80s. After Secret Invasion, the Marvel's release, I'm done with Marvel for now. That's fine. That's hey, we've all had our and Wes and I have a video on this coming out here soon. We may do it live because live has been working good for us this week. We may do our videos live from now on or for the foreseeable future. But there is a video we're going to be talking about Marvel. More details will come on that. You can follow us on each of our respective Twitter accounts and stuff. But that's fine. We're going to do video talking about sort of this, but like that first part of your statements, that's cool. I think they need to reset with Secret Wars and get younger actors. What do you think? Now, if you're talking about resetting after Secret Wars, or you're talking about Secret Wars kind of resetting the MCU, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Number one, they don't need to reset. What they're doing is working. Hear me out. Is the MCU as prevalent and as strong as they have been? Has that momentum went down? Absolutely. And I don't want to talk about this too much because, like I said, I want to save it for the video Wes and I have planned. But the MCU is struggling. Are they in the danger zone? No. They're like in the low, like I won't even say low. They're in
Lower
like
mid.
they're in
They're
like
in
the
mid
mid.
range.
They're in mid range. Like they're not great right now, but they're not like I don't know. What's a horrible movie that came out recently? Um, I can't think of one. Oh my god. They're not like, oh my god, we need to quit watching these movies because they're so bad. They've gotten so bad. I don't think we're there yet either. It's a middle of the road. Like I didn't like Quantumania, Ant-Man Quantumania. I didn't like it, and I thought I was going to love it because I love the first two. Ant-Man is such a fun character. Paul Rudd is so much fun. Eventually, Lily is great. Jonathan Majors, which hot topic right now. I get it, but you know that being said, we're not in the danger streak I think a lot of people think we're in with the MCU. But the younger actors thing, I don't know. That's not, let's be honest, that's not the problem. The problem is they killed off both of their main characters in the same movie. Sorry, they killed off two characters and retired one of them in the same freaking movie. And okay, so he follows it up with what I mean to is introduce variants of dead characters and have them be in the MCU after Secret Wars. I mean, that can happen, Wes, but I'm not gonna lie to you, that would confuse maybe not you or me or 80s kid or maybe not the people watching, but we represent a minute uh percentage of the audience that goes and see these movies. So I don't think that's not the problem. The recast that's not the problem. The problem is their story right now. The problem is their scripts, and the problem is what are they doing? We knew what they were doing in Iron Man 1 when Agent Coulson started mentioning Shield. And then at the end of the film, he finally said it. And I remember, I'll tell a story of this another time, but Buddy and me looked at each other and we went, are we about to get Avengers? And then sure enough, post-credit scene, there was Nick Fury. So, I mean, we don't even know where we're going. I mean, yeah, we do know King Dynasty and Secret Wars, but are we, Wes, at this point? We got Jonathan Majors
Like I said, I
and
think we need to go with Doctor Doom. Just go ahead and
I
on
mean,
Fantastic Four, have him kill off all the kings and be like, "Hey, guess what, motherfuckers?
hey,
I'm
I'm the
here."
big bad now. Yeah, and I mean, and I see what you're saying, 80s. I don't
And
want
do
you
the triple D, like I said, Doctor Doom Dynasty,
oh,
bro.
the
Triple D,
Avengers
son.
Triple D coming to your
Yeah.
theater near you. Like 80s kid, I'm not crapping on you. It's not that. All I'm saying is I don't think like I don't think, oh, this character's dead, let's bring him back. Oh, make no mistake though, Iron Man will be back. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back. Chris Evans is coming back. And if you don't think Secret Wars is it, dude, they're gonna bring like Nick Cage's Ghost Rider back in Secret Wars. I think they're gonna bring everybody back in Secret Wars, like that's what, because think about it, how do you top West, what was it? In game. Like you have to be better. You can't come out with in game and go and ramp up your next big Avengers film and then make like a movie like Ant-Man 1 where it's more of a self-contained. It'd be
Right.
like this is Avengers, man. This is
Mhm.
Avengers, bro. So I mean, and then he follows it up with, "I agree they need a plan. I can see the man behind the curtain now." Wizard of Oz reference. There you go. There you go.
Nice. Nice.
So that's kind of my thought. But I don't know. What are y'all thoughts in the comments? Let us know what you think about the MCU moving forward. Again, Wes and I is going to do a video probably next week or maybe over the weekend. It depends how our schedules line up, but we'll just have to see. And Wes, before we sign off, we'll talk about our regular plan. I know this week was CinemaCon. We do things a little bit different moving forward. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But Wes, let's finish out the comments here.
Well, I mean that's about it. I mean he went back to say like Vader was awesome in
Oh,
Rebels, which he
okay.
was, but and then Dune is awesome. So I
Now
mean
I did watch
that's
the
it.
Vader parts, like the YouTube like clips. Like that was fun. Like him fighting Ahsoka, but Ahsoka beat Vader. It's like what the fuck? I'm like Darth Maul defeated a Jedi Master, and Ahsoka, who says Skyboy all the time, comes and kicks his ass. It's like, oh, I don't know. It is what it is. 80s kid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agree. Need a plan. Wizard of Oz reference. Yeah. So that is what it is. Wes, it's been fun, man. CinemaCon's been great. Thank you all for each and every one of y'all that have been coming in and chat with us the past couple days. It's been a lot of fun. So next week we're going to Wes can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last time we talked about it, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Excuse me. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Around between 9 and 10 Eastern time. Pacific. Sorry, Pacific.
It'll definitely
PM is what I mean.
10.
Be 10. Okay, so
Yeah.
10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to stream an hour or two. We'll just have to see. What we've been doing is a segment called Hollywood Minutes, where we take the topics from, for example, Tuesday, we'll talk about Monday and Tuesday's news, kind of collect it together and talk about it. Be 3 or 4 topics, or if there's something huge that come out and it's too big, we'll just talk about that one topic, and then the plan is to just talk about it in the chat and see what y'all think, and just kind of go from there. Kind of informal, just kind of like we've been doing the past couple of days. So that is the plan right now: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And again, we are streaming from both Twitch and YouTube. Whichever one you're watching us on, do drop a like and follow us. Follow us there on YouTube. If y'all have liked this, please do so. It would mean just everything in the world. Y'all have been great. Thank you for the people returning. Wes, man, where can people find you?
You can find me on your nearest golf course. No, guys, I'm going to say something different every time. But you can really just find me at West Rathbone 86 on Twitter. Please comment down there. Tell us how you like everything. If you don't like anything, like what we could do better. But once again, I just want to say thank you for supporting us and coming on here and talking to us, man. Like I said, we didn't think that this would get any views. But to have you guys in here and has been great. So thank you guys very much. And we're going to continue to do it if you continue to like it. So thank you very much. And we'll probably do it even if you don't like it. I'm just being honest because it gets us doing something. So thank you. And Gabe, let them know where they can find you, man.
All right. And like Wes said, we greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all that have come to like and watched and communicated with us in the chat and participated with us. And it's been great because that's all it's about, right? Is the community, the movie community, and in the film fandom and things like that. And this is just something that Wes and I have been passionate about. Like I said in last night's video, Wes kind of came up to me last year and was like, "Hey, let's do a YouTube channel." We started it, was doing very well, and then both of us started new jobs, kind of put us on the back burner for a while. But we are back full force, ready to go. And like I said, the current schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I keep wanting to say Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to check us out there. Again, we will stream from Twitch and YouTube. 80s Kid follows it up with a salute. We salute you, 80s Kid. Thank you so much. Vader nearly killed Ezra. I mean, yeah, won't go there. So, but yes, check us again. We might do a little bit of a chat, just kind of informal, just random video this weekend here on YouTube and Twitch. So just check us out over the weekend. It's unlikely we'll do one, but just in case, in the event that we do,
turn
I hope we see y'all there. Yeah, turn notifications on, and that way you'll see it when we do go live, right? So. And then if you don't catch us live, do know that the videos will be on YouTube afterwards. So go check us out. Let us know your thoughts. You can find me at Twitter at Voice of Film. It's been a pleasure. My name's Gabe. He's been Wes, and we've been the usual skeptics. Again, thank you so much for the film fan community. That was a tongue twister. Christ. I'm tired. We haven't slept all week. Eastern folks, we get the short end of the stick to do anything. So, but yeah, thank you so much for your time and indulgence, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Hope y'all enjoyed CinemaCon. Hope you enjoyed listening to us ramble, and it's time to go to bed.